Medless. Away they go then for the Bahrain Trophy, over 1 mile and 7 furlongs on a very hot and sweaty afternoon here on the July course. Gold Medalist is the first to show from Strength and Honour in the yellow jacket on the inside, Dalaram in the green. Red-capped Santando wearing cheek pieces for the first time today, Santando, in an effort to make him travel a bit more sweetly in the early stages. Out wide in the red cap is Midas Way. Clever Clogs racing between horses in the blue and paler cap. And then at the back, Discreet Brief, yellow with the light blue cap. And finally, Wavertree Boy over on the inside. Steady-ish pace, long way to go here. Gold Medalist and Kevin Darley in Jeff Smith's colours. The Persian Punch jacket leads to Dalaram in second on the outside of Strength and Honour, who's pulling quite hard for Kieran Fallon. And then almost 3 in a line, the outside, working outside in, Midas Way, Clever Clogs and Santando. Discreet Brief one from last, and Wavertree Boy, the stable companion of the leader Gold Medalist, just the back marker. Still racing towards their one and only turn here, and Gold Medalist cutting out the pace from a well-grouped field of 8. From Dalaram in second place. In the green colours, the Aga Khan. Midas Way out wide. Clever Clogs, the Rail, Strength and Honour. Discreet Brief, Santando and Wavertree Boy. So now beginning their one and only turn. When they straighten up, they'll have fully a mile to cover here. And John Frankham watching, a bit of a test for the jockeys here. A mile in a straight line, when and where you kick.
Well, it's a bit of a tactical race as well. There were no real front runners in this, and Kevin Darley's gone on with Gold Medalist, and it's meant that both Strength and Honour and the other filly, Discreet Brief, they just haven't really settled. Midas Way looks pretty well relaxed on the outside, and so does the horse at the back, Wavertree Boy, might involved in the finish.
Yes, the cards very much still to be played, and the order pretty much unchanged as well, though Midas Way is a bit more prominent on the outside. The informed Roger Charlton team, Stephen Drown in the saddle, had 3 winners here yesterday. The jockey in form, and it's Gold Medalist that leads to Dalaram. Discreet Brief went off the 3-to-1 favourite. She's towards the back at the moment, the pale blue cap towards the outside, about 1 or 2 from the end, but they're still very well clustered together as Gold Medalist continues to show them the way home at this stage. Over 3 furlongs to cover. Gold Medalist, Dalaram, Clever Clogs pushed along, so too Midas Way. Strength and Honour on the fence, then Santando beginning to stay on, and Discreet Brief on the wide outside, and Wavertree Boy still at the back. They've kicked from the front here off a sluggish pace, and 1 or 2 of the others are struggling to get on terms now, and it's Gold Medalist still just in front. Dalaram is hanging quite violently left and didn't do Clever Clogs or Discreet too many favours, but Discreet Brief is picking up well on the outside. Santando and Wavertree Boy are both pegging the leaders back as well. Gold Medalist very game from Discreet Brief. These two battle away inside the final furlong. Gold Medalist, can he hold on from the filly? It's Gold Medalist from Discreet Brief, and a very brave win from Gold Medalist. He made every post a winning one. Discreet Brief in second, Wavertree Boy in third, a 1 and 3 for trainer David Ellsworth. Santando was next from Dalaram, Midas Way, and then Clever Clogs, and finally Strength and Honour, who probably pulled far too hard, eventually brought up the rear. Beautifully judged ride from the front here by Kevin Darley on Gold Medalist. Set a pretty steady pace in the early stages, kicked from the front, and the others were always struggling just to get back on terms. Good effort in the circumstances by the runner-up.
And Gold Medalist wins the 8-to-1 clear 5th favourite. Gold Medalist and the longest price winner in 14 runnings. Cephalonia was also an 8-to-1 winner for Dunlop and Edery 3 years ago. The runner-up, Discreet Brief, sent off the 3-to-1 favourite. And the third horse was Wavertree Boy. Some each-way support for this in the Dead 8 race. Returned 20-to-1 against Wavertree Boy. And that Gold Medalist wins for David Ellsworth, who won this with the amazing Persian Punch. Won this 7 years ago. Started a 3-to-1 chance. Remember that remarkable race he ran to win at Sandown on Saturday. All those tremendous races he's won. One of his early triumphs was in this Bahrain Trophy. 7 years ago, Persian Punch. Gold Medalist is now an 8-to-1 winner here, the 5th favourite among the punters, and a good result for the bookmakers.
Jeff Smith, such a wonderful supporter of racing, and particularly these staying sorts. When a lot of people, particularly owner breeders, were thinking staying horses weren't a good commercial option, Jeff Smith stuck with it, and he's got another lovely horse here. Kevin, you must allow yourself a bit of a smile after that one, beautifully judged.
Yes, he's a lovely ride, you know. I think here suits him. There's a lot of open spaces here, and he was never sort of going to do too much in front, pricking his ears, and every time I asked him to lengthen, he just kept finding for me.
Real guts at the end.
Yes, he really had to dig deep when Pat came to me. I think he thought he had a little bit more horse than me, but this fella kept a bit in the tank, I think.
And again, we're finding really good Royal Ascot form coming out. That was a good run at Ascot for him.
Yes, it was, and it's great to see a horse like him come sort of out of Ascot and improve.
And you may not have heard, well, you won't have heard, but Persian Punch won this 7 years ago. Amazing.
That's a good omen.
Well done.
Thanks, Leslie.
Well, he's not quite as big as Persian Punch, but he's not far off, just about the biggest horse in the field, other than the horse just on his inside, Dalaran. But up against the rail, easiest place to run against, best place to be water in front when this is going to be a tactical affair.
Exactly, and you can see Kevin just start to wind him up now, and he's really strong and galloping, and as you quite rightly pointed out, that just really does seem to be the place to be. Unlike the filly on the outside, who had to do all of her running just away from it, and she looked as if she was going to come and collar the eventual winner, but I think he eventually just did pull out enough.
Yeah, it was a really good battle, 2 game horses. As Kevin Darley said, this fella just pulled out a little bit more, drifted left. Horses often do that here. It was a good, rousing finish. And this horse would run so well at Ascot. Jeff's not that keen on jumping, but this is another one. We said it about Persian Punch. He'd make a jumper if he wanted, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he certainly would. But this is another horse. He's only a 3-year-old, and the way that David trains these horses, he's got another very nice staying horse. Is it called Garb? And he looks after them. They last and they improve, and I should imagine that he's got Golf, not Garb, Golf, but I should imagine that he's got quite a few decent flat races lined up for those before they go hurdling. But he's a grand type. Plenty of jump trainers would be drooling over this.
And Jim, he's by Zilzal, who I thought was probably the most exciting, electrifying horse I ever rode, and he seems to get them at all distances.
Absolutely, and he looks a bit like Zilzal, maybe not quite as quirky, Wally.